What is up, guys? Happy Friday. Let's go ahead and get started. Today we're going to start it with a Q&A. And the first question was advice for beginners, right? And for me, guys, this is always going to be my answer when it comes to people who want to get into the trading and investing space. One, you have to understand that this is a journey, right? It's going to take time. It's a process, right? Everybody's journey is different. The one I came in, it was a lot different, and I wasn't trading smart money. I went my own route, found levels, and I was able to catch some traction for myself a bit faster than others. So like it's all about, you know, the effort that you really put in, right? So everybody's journey is different, but you have to enjoy it. Every loss is a lesson learned, and every win is a lesson learned. You know, you guys have to study everything. You guys have to be students in every single way. A student of yourself, understand your emotions, understand uh, you know, the pairs that you trade the best, understand the pairs that you don't trade the best. Why would you keep trading pairs that you keep losing on consistently? Like you struggle with and you know it, but you're just like determined to get it. But over here, you're just smacking this pair successfully. You're just smooth every time, like butter, right? Why not just stick to the pair that you're smacking, right? So understanding that it's going to be a journey, that's number one, right? That's number one. I do believe everybody is going to have their time with success, and everybody's in this for, retiring parents and so quote unquote this and that, but everybody is looking for some capital, right? Some extra capital. And I do believe everybody can touch capital in this space. I believe that. And it all comes with hard work. All comes with hard work. So just understand this, right? If you want to touch, capital that is full-time type money, then you have to put in full-time effort. Don't expect full-time money if you're not putting in any type of effort, right? First and foremost. So understand, guys, the journey is one thing in itself. You cannot rush that, right? There is no shortcuts. Other than hopping on these calls and asking questions, the questions are the shortcuts, but you can't rush success in this space. That's one thing you have to understand right now up front, right? Now, number two is I would not put in capital personally, right? I would not put in capital within your first 3 to 6 months. That's that's what I would tell me if if I started again, right? Because when I came in, I was just like, I had some extra cash. I was down and put it away into the trading accounts, and I was trigger happy. And when you're someone who sees potential, when you're someone who came from the area I came from, hustling on the street. I didn't really have jobs. I made my money, doing other things, right? So when I'm like, yo, you can make money this way, all right, I'm gonna focus on this. And I was pretty much gambling, my money away. I was not doing it smart. And a lot of people do that, right? It's an emotion that people are tied to right away. Like you see potential, you see money floating up and down, and you're thinking, yo, I can make money here. So people tend to throw money into an account, over leverage, over trade, and they don't even know what that means, right? They don't know what over leveraging means, and they don't know what over trading means, and they don't know what that does to your capital, right? So for me, I would tell you, no investing your own capital for the first 3 to 6 months, maybe even a year, right? And just trade demo. Just trade demo because this is the thing, right? And this is still part two. No capital, trade demo. Why? Because step three is you need to understand a strategy, right? In Powerhouse, we dominantly trade uh smart money concepts and levels, right? Those are the two main styles that we trade here. So whichever one you pick, right? Whichever one you pick, they're both great styles. They literally piggyback off the other ones, like the older brother, you know, step brothers. Like they're very, very close within the strategies, right? So whichever one you pick, you're onto a great track. But now you have to understand that, right? Just because you got into an investing and you found some investing friends and things like that doesn't mean you know how to invest. Doesn't mean that you're ready to throw capital into the market, right? So understand the strategy, rep that strategy, lose accounts on demo until you understand what you're doing. You understand where your stop loss goes. You understand where your entries are. You understand the power of opportunities. You understand risk to reward. All of that, guys, you talk to a beginner about all that stuff that helps preserve capital and helps make them better. That shit goes through one ear and out the other. Did it not with you? Because it did with me. I'll be honest. They're like, yeah, don't trade too much. 0.01 only. Bro, I was throwing like daddy lots on US30. Like NAS, that thing saw point 10 a couple times. Account gone like that. Like not good, not good at all. Right? So, and again, I didn't understand what I was doing. No strategy, right? Didn't understand. So that's the thing. Understand your strategy. Once you understand your strategy, you're flipping demos, you're working smooth. Guys, understand every trading style. You're gonna lose a couple times, right? That's why we use risk to reward, things like that. No trading style is 100 for 100, right? But when you start to see progress in the style that you're trading and you see your demo increasing slowly but surely, that is a good thing, right? You're able to flip not funded. You're able to flip a demo. All right, you're like, okay, cool. Let me see if I could do it again. You flip another demo. You're like, okay, cool. Let me see if I could do it again. Things are starting to flow. Things are starting to flow. You do it again. If you can flip demos comfortably, right? Understanding emotions, things like that. That's when you are now ready to throw in capital. That's what I would tell me if I was coming in right now. Those three things. Once you understand those three things, everything else kind of falls in line slowly but surely in itself. Give me a 10 if that makes sense, guys. Let me know. Trust me. You guys are probably thinking wild. Like you're wild, right? A lot of you guys are very preservative. That's why you guys probably haven't thrown lots of money in, or maybe even blown accounts, right? People's mindsets are different. I was very aggressive. So, from my understanding, if you don't have lots of money into a live account and you're pretty much trading demo, then you're doing it the right way, right? But if you're somebody who is new and you have been throwing money into a live account and you're not really doing that well, if you're not doing that well, you're still struggling. Maybe you don't even know how to read the trades yet. Maybe you shouldn't trade that live account because just because you can, like you physically can press buttons, doesn't mean you should yet, right? Doesn't mean you should yet. But once you start to understand everything, well, that's when I would say it's okay. Let's see. Any other questions before we get going on the charts? Let me know. We're good. Back testing time? Let's go. Let's go. Guys, anytime you guys have a question about literally anything, go ahead and ask me. Okay, go ahead and ask me. But right now, I want to go ahead and talk about US30. Give me a second, real quick, guys. Gotta resize my screen real quick. All right, let's get it. All right, so just off the rip, right? Let's go to the daily time frame. You guys can see my chart, right? We're good. You guys can see what we're looking at here. All right, I assume yes. All right, thank you, Nova. Thank you, Joseph. All right, guys, in this area, are we bullish or bearish? You guys let me know. Are we bullish or are we bearish? Bullish or bearish? We should be looking for, if the market's bullish, yes, the market is bullish. If the market is bullish, we should be looking for buys. We should be looking for buy opportunities. Okay. Now, this is the thing, right? Just because we have opportunity set does not mean the market is going to come back to us right away. We have a break of structure there. I was looking, it looks like the market respected the daily starting point. Like, imagine trading the daily setup. You're like, wow, this is a big ass stop loss. This is 300, 400 pip stop loss. You're right. But you're also at a 1 to 2.5, and you're 1,000 pips in profit. You're almost at a 1 to 3. You're almost at a 1 to 3. And depending on where you entered in here, I mean, that could have been a 1 to 3 move already. Right? So, guys, never fear how big a stop loss is. If this is too big for you, right? Because I know a lot of us trade indices, right? If this is too big, because I ain't gonna lie, sometimes US30, the regular one, I don't want to risk 400 pips off the first touch. You know, I like to trade the minis. I'm a fan of the minis, actually, right? I'm a fan of the minis. Why? Because if you have a small account, let's say you have a $500 account, you can trade the minis. It'll allow you on Trade Locker, right? It'll allow you to calculate with percentage. And it'll give you, I mean, don't get me wrong, your leverage would be, kind of high depending on on your account size, but it's also going off percentage. So instead of losing $400, I wouldn't mind losing 40. I wouldn't mind losing 40. But just keep that in mind, guys. And because also, another reason why I'm a fan of the minis, who trades 0.01 still on indices? It's okay, because so do I. Who trades 0.01 still on indices? Just curious, because I still do, right? I still do. Like I do, Vinny the trader, I do still, right? Trade 0.01 on US30 and NAS, right? So this is the thing. Who hates being in profit, you know, $200, $300, maybe even $150, right? Depending on what time frame you trade. You want to take partials out of 1 to 1, 1 to 2. Who hates when they're in profit with the indices, but they can't take partials? Bro, that would be like my biggest pet peeve. Like knowing I'm up in profit, but I have to make a decision. Do I break even or do I just close this trade? Because I can't partial out. I have to break even, hold the trade, or close the trade in order for me to either make some capital or not lose capital. Right? So minis, they allow you to partial out. So if you're somebody who is still trading 0.01, which is okay, right? That's totally fine. But maybe you should try the minis. And maybe your leverage won't be 0.01. Maybe it'll be a 0.10 or a 0.15, right? But now it allows you to partial out some of that profit. So I don't know, guys. That's something I've been doing. That has honestly been helping me out gain capital, whether even if it's a break-even play, 1 to 2, 1 to 1 partial out, 1 to 2, I'm at break even, market comes back. At least I'm able to partial out. With indices, with the regular indice, bro, you just get stuck, which sucks. So this is the thing on US30. I was looking for this zone here. I was looking for this starting point and this left shoulder, but the market respected the daily zone. And that's the thing, right? Just because, and this is this daily starting point, so that is exactly what we should have been looking for. But we obviously want to risk less. So it is what it is, right? It happens. It happens there. Now, This is the thing. We have let's delete this. We have a liquidity sweep. Someone's popping fireworks. Random. We have a liquidity sweep, and because the market left liquidity, I thought the market was going to go ahead and sweep and give me like the most sniper entry and take off. But obviously, the market didn't do that, and the market continued. So now this is the thing, right? You have to make a decision. Are you trying to catch this trade and go with the trend, or do you stay put right here? Now, this is the thing. As long as you run your risk to reward and you are looking for only, quality setups only, while running risk to reward, you'll be okay. Not taking every single setup you see. Quality setups only. Okay. Now, I see this. This is the thing, right? Notice how this is the lowest wick in this area. The lowest wick in this area. We have the breaker structure here to the downside. This would be my change of direction to the upside. So even though I wasn't willing to look for buys down here, it just looked a little too iffy because I saw this as liquidity. So I was telling myself, okay, you know what? Just wait for the change of direction. That'll give you a better indication to see if the market wants to go or not, right? If we have a breakout rally, which it does, right? We have a starting point here, and we can use this as our stop loss. This is the lowest wick in this area. If you want to use this low, that low isn't bad either. I don't think that low's bad. And you're able to ride that trade. Now, let's say we do take this trade. You could put your stop loss here for a tighter stop. Just this high alone is a 1 to 3.5. But the market ran a 1 to 6, which is nice. That's exactly what we want. But guys, would you consider this like super nice structure? Or would you consider this ugly structure? Be honest. Would you consider this ugly structure or would you consider this nice structure? I'll be real. I think that structure is ugly. I do think that structure is ugly. Now, the one thing that told me or that made me feel like we can take this trade is we have the liquidity sweep. We touch the daily starting point and we actually break out with some momentum. We break out with momentum and then we leave liquidity here. So I'm thinking, yo, this is something I'm willing to risk on. You have to have these conversations with yourself. All these things are falling in line, right? Yes, we are playing aggressive technically because we haven't got the change of direction here for the market to come back, but we're trying to catch this low. This is technically the change of direction, left shoulder, head. Now this is the change of direction, but you wanted to catch that move down here. Give me an 8 if that makes sense. You wanted to catch this move as low as possible. You catch your TP's been hit. Now you wait for that next move so we can catch it again. So look, this is the thing, right? This is a good opportunity. Now the market is continuing to leave ugly structure. In my opinion, it's ugly. It's not the nicest structure. It's trying to confuse you because I was even looking for sales in this structure. I was like, yo, I think the market might sell. And I had to flip my switch right away. And I'll go ahead and break everything down. Right. So the market respected this area. Now, again, I'm not really dropping down to lower time frames to like give you exact entries. Um, but in my opinion, everything looks still okay here as of right now. Only thing we're missing technically is more candles. Until we need to get down to more detail, then we will. And I feel like a lot of you guys could be doing the same thing, right? You guys, maybe you guys go down to lower time frames, and maybe that confuses you guys, right? If you guys really don't have to go to the lower time frames, guys, you don't have to. It's okay, right? Only go down to the time frames that you feel comfortable with, time frame by time frame. So now this is the thing right here. Same thing happens again to where it doesn't really give us a clean breakout. This would be my left shoulder, my head. It doesn't give us a breakout until there. So you have to have this conversation again. Are you going to play aggressive or are you going to wait for the confirmation? Now, honestly, US30 and NAS are like the only thing that I dominantly trade. And I don't trade, uh, I don't over trade, so I'm willing to take opportunities and be aggressive in areas that I think have potential, right? I'm sticking to my bullish bias. Now, let's drop down to the 30. This is where I ended up getting caught here. This is the morning. Yes. So this is Tuesday. This was the morning, right? Notice how we have liquidity here that was swept. And again, I think this structure is ugly, personally to me. We have the change of direction here. Right? We have the starting point. And now this is what I thought the market wanted to continue because we got the starting point. We have the liquidity sweep. We have the change of direction. We have a starting point. The market creates more liquidity. We sweep and then we continue. So I'm thinking we're going to move this zone from here to here and continue with this bullish movement. So I ended up taking a buy here. Obviously, I took a loss, right? Took a loss, down one. And then I see it playing around in here, and it's holding the zone. This is my stop loss technically. This starting point is valid to go into again, right? This is the stop loss, so as long as the market doesn't hit stop loss here, it can still continue technically. Now, I didn't buy off of here the second time. I didn't buy off here the second time. I waited to get more confirmation structure-wise. So this is what I'm seeing. I didn't buy off of here. I saw this as liquidity. Now, I wanted the market to go ahead and actually go lower. I saw this and I was like, okay, the market's going to go ahead, start rounding off, and then start sweeping liquidity, and then we'll go ahead and continue. That's what my initial thought process was. But notice the structure here. I'm running my odds off of head and shoulder structure. If the market structure is telling me bullish based off of inverteds, I'm running my odds, right? Because the market is still bullish. Sometimes, guys, our mind is playing tricks on us because the market is going down on one end. So we're thinking sells heavy on one side, but we forget we're playing in a higher time frame game. Market already respected a starting point. Notice how we sweep liquidity and then we change direction. So this would be my BOS to the downside or a liquidity sweep, however you see it. And this would be my change of direction. Now, again, this isn't even nice. This is ugly structure. Ugly structure. So I'll be honest. If you didn't catch none of these moves, it's okay because these are tough moves. These are really tough moves, and these are ugly moves. And honestly, these are fairly risky moves because market structure is ugly, which is why I didn't really send none of these in because this is just ugly structure. And I was looking for buys way lower, way more high probability, in my opinion. But market structure is saying run your odds, run your probability. Now, this is the left shoulder here. The stop loss at this low. Now, even to take these highs, right? Because this is where the market made that U-turn. If we go back up to that 1 hour time frame, this is where the market made that U-turn to come back for this area. Let's clean this up for the clarity. As soon as the market bounced off of here, it came right back and made a brand new setup. So we want to go ahead and target this area right here as a take profit. That's already a 1 to 8, guys. 1 to 8. Now, again, they made it very, very tough to catch this opportunity. Very tough. And honestly, it's still ugly. I'm like, I was looking at this and I'm like, honestly, they made it super tough. Now, I was looking for sales in here. I was thinking sales in here. Now, let me tell you why. Because we had just swept liquidity. See, we have obviously 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we sweep. Right? So I'm thinking, yo, we might actually just sell down. Everybody's thinking buys. We might just sell down. And this is what really got me right here. This is what really got me. After we make this change of direction, we start building liquidity here. And that's what it looks like, right? But again, guys, that's what they want you to see. They want you to get confused. And bro, for a second, I was confused. So I hedged the market. I was in buys. I was in buys down here. And I took sells right here because I was confused. Now, I was already in profit on this trade. So I took partials. I was already at break even. And I dropped down to the 5 minute. And then you can already see that candle's like, oh shit. I dropped down to the 5 minute. I obviously entered right here. Oh shit. I enter here. I see the market, it drops. And then this candle here pushed up with some force, my boy, with some momentum. As soon as I seen that, I closed my sell and held on to my buy. That was the buy in that area. Even that, bro, like that's fire, bro. That's a 1 to 3 setup alone by itself. Now, this is the thing. The market already took highs, right? So now we have to refresh. All this stuff already happened. So let's go ahead and reanalyze. Let's go to the daily time frame. What can I see on the daily time frame? Well, I am seeing a large breakout, right? BOS, the market is continuing to the upside. My starting point is here. Let's go to the 8 hour. I want to go ahead and shrink my starting point a little bit. 4 hour. Boom. Okay, cool. Now, this is the thing too. This is my first opportunity here in this area. Can anybody tell me why this is my first opportunity here? Anybody want to take a guess? Anybody have an idea why this is my first opportunity? It's the breakout. Yes, this is the breakout rally. So this is the first opportunity, right? We have a starting point here. Now my second opportunity, not the nicest. I like the lower. I like this lower one personally because we still have liquidity here. So don't be surprised, right? Do not be surprised. We have a liquidity sweep to the downside. So this would be my shoulder. So we have opportunity one, opportunity two, and then opportunity three. And as we zoom out, dang, even if we zoom out, look at how we zoom out. A lot of this just looks like liquidity, right? We have BOS to the downside, change of direction to the upside. Doesn't this look like trendline liquidity to you? Looks like a whole lot of trend line. I ain't gonna cap. I ain't gonna cap with you. I really like buys down here. This is what I like to see, guys. Notice how these heads, they're like liquidity, like they left liquidity. This one sweeps and then takes off right away, right? So keep that in mind. But we are, we have to worry about present structure first. So this is where we're at with this, right? This is where we're at. Come here, come here. My dogs, bruh. Um, yeah, let's go. Any pair you guys want me to look at? Let me know what you guys want me to look at. We still got 20 minutes. Naz. I mean, fairly the same thing. All right. We all know that it's in an uptrend. Market's been bullish, right? Market's been bullish. Now, this is the thing. This is where we should have all been in at. Even though this is ugly, and yes, this is holding liquidity, guys, follow the structure. Are we bullish with indices? Yes, we are. Now, even on a higher time frame, look at what it is giving us. It's giving us a high, higher high, a higher low, a higher high. We should know, we should all know, if the market does not break this low, it doesn't matter how effing ugly market structure looks in here. It can still go higher. It can still go higher. So we can still look for opportunities all throughout here. Okay? Y'all need to know that. Guys, this is NAS100. It's not hard to trade indices. You guys just need to follow the rules, right? So if anybody was looking for sells, follow the rules. Look at the structure. We are technically still in an uptrend. It doesn't matter how ugly or how much liquidity the market is building. Just because you see liquidity, guys, you will consistently see this, right? This is why for me, liquidity isn't really a big deal and why I don't really use it a whole lot. I just use it to tell myself the market could go lower there, but I don't use it as it is. It is like it has to, right? That was like my only thing with smart money, right? When I saw liquidity, I always thought the market was supposed to sweep it right away before heading up higher. Guys, it does not have to do that. So follow the structure first rather than your own, like, how would I say this? Because you want to wait, right? You want to wait for the sweeps, but sometimes the sweeps don't happen. And if market structure is telling you, yo, you should look for buys now, not wait for sweeps, look for the buys. If you get stop loss getting swept, it happens. But I know for sure you would rather catch the trade than miss the trade, right? And it's all about running your risk to reward. Now, I'm not saying you have to, right? You could always be patient. Patient is always best, right? Follow your rules, follow who you are as a trader. However, Liquidity does not need to be swept right away. Look at all this liquidity. Would you guys consider all this liquidity? Liquidity does not have to be swept right away, guys. Takes time. Look at, can you believe this liquidity? That liquidity there started all this momentum. Guys, liquidity does not need to be taken right away. Okay? Look at this. Liquidity. Let's see how long this took to be swept from the second touch. This took 240 days. Guys, liquidity does not have to be swept right away. Okay? You guys need to understand that. And that was hard for me to understand too. Like when I first was like trying to understand liquidity and smart money and like realizing that's what they want to see. They want to see the liquidity sweep before the continuation. But levels didn't teach that. It said focus on structure. The market structure will always tell you, right? Market structure will always tell you. Now, this is the thing. I was confused here again. Now, it's okay to be confused, guys. Let me tell you why. At the time, market structure was showing me this, right? I'm seeing liquidity here. This is how you guys have to think, okay? I'm trying to help you guys understand the thought process. I'm seeing a ton of liquidity. I am seeing an internal change of direction, which is counter trend, right? First and foremost, counter trend. I'm seeing the starting point. It's respected. I'm seeing the head and shoulder inside. Structure looks fairly clean, right? US30, ugly. Dog poo-poo. It didn't look good, right? Did not look good. This looks pretty decent. This don't look half bad. Consolidation, liquidity sweep, change of direction, right? That looks a bit cleaner, okay? Now, I saw this and I was looking to sell here. But why would that have been a mistake? Why would taking sales here be a mistake, guys? Hmm? Who wants to be wrong? It's okay. Say it. Say it. It's okay. Why was taking sales here a mistake? Higher time frame is bullish. Look at the structure. They want you to see this. Yes, you're counter trending. Not saying you can't, right? Hey, if you can, you can. But understand some of those counter trends just get obliterated, bro. They get like they get obliterated. It's because higher time frame is bullish. So notice the structure here. If we want to go higher, we have to focus on inverted. Okay? So let's just delete this. We have that in our mind right now. Now, if I'm focused on inverted, this is what I'm thinking. And again, this is ugly, looking for buys. Break a structure, change of direction. We have a breakout rally here. Nova, Nova, would you consider this candle a starting point right here? We have a break of structure to the downside, and then we have a change of direction. Yes, right? Okay, cool. So let's go ahead, light that up. Now my lowest wick in that area is technically here, so that's my stop loss. Right? That's the low. If you want to use this, you can, but this is the dominant low. And this already looks freaking ugly because it looks like liquidity, right? So I did not take buys here, right? I will repeat, I did not take buys here. Would that be aggressive entry because structure looks like that? Yes, to me, yes. That's why I did not take buys there, right? I'll be honest, I didn't. Why? Because I saw all this liquidity. I was even thinking, yo, let the liquidity get swept first, and then we'll go ahead and catch this trade here and send the market up higher, right? That would be cleaner. We don't break the low. We sweep liquidity. Market gives us a way nicer setup, right? Yeah, it looks like equal lows kind of. Exactly. Exactly. So this is why I did not take this buy off the first touch. Now, let me show you what I did take. Notice how we sweep liquidity. If we want to see this as an inverted, you have to foresee it, right? This is my break of structure. Let's see if we can get a change of direction. Early change of direction would be here. This one would be the higher time frame and dominant change of direction. So let's take a look. Market structure takes off. Now, this is a setup that I do like. Why? Because not only does this breakout rally change direction one zone, but two zones. So there is no confusion, right? That's confirmation. It broke two zones, right? Give me a two if that makes sense. Let's go, Nova. This calls for you, Nova. Let's go. Let's go. Notice how this is the breakout rally. My starting point is here. If you want a tight stop loss is here. If you would like a looser stop loss is way down here, right? But that's kind of big. So I wouldn't mind using this and maybe even giving it a little bit of extra pips, right? Something like this, right? I wouldn't mind that personally, right? If you're like, yo, that's too much, and you're someone who does that, hey, do your thing, okay? I like to give it a little bit of room though, okay? This is my entry, 1 to 3, risk to reward, minimum, right? I would love to take these highs, right? That's the all-time high. Would like to continue highs there. Let's clean this up for clarity. Would love to take all-time highs. That's already a 1 to 3. So let's continue. Guys, this happened. This happened last Friday. Okay? This happened last Friday. But how can we have continued this move? Right? This was from last week. Solid movement. TP has been hit. But now let's continue. Guys, is this hard to you? Is this tough? Like focusing on structure, is this like super, super hard to you guys? I need to understand because if it is, like I need to figure out a way to make it, easy for sure. But look, notice the structure here, guys, right? High, low. We need the break of structure here. I love structure too, bro. I love structure. Guys, would you guys consider this a break of structure, the upside, with a breakout rally? Even though the breakout rally is very, very minimal, would you consider that a breakout rally there? You need to see this. You need to be able to see this and have confidence in this, right? Starting point, stop loss. Guys, this was probably the easiest setup with the indices. I will be honest. Simple breakout rally, simple starting point. We haven't, it's not at a 1 to 3, but we're in this trade still, right? If you entered at the 50%, you possibly ended the weekend with the TP. Now, this is one thing. Now, this is what I like about starting points, right? And a lot of people don't know this, but I want to also give you this information, right? Because you guys know I like giving gems on my calls. Okay. Now, why do you think, guys, we look for the lowest wick when it comes to our starting points? Once we find our starting point, why do you think we find the lowest wick? Yes, it's our stop loss, But have you ever looked at a starting point on lower time frame? Notice what the market is doing, right? Market is dropping, pulled back, dropping lower, changing direction. Guys, starting points are head and shoulder moves. Starting points are head and shoulder moves, guys. Let's go to the 2 hour. Let's go to the 1 hour. Notice how, let's see, go back to 1 hour. Excuse me. Notice how we have equal lows here. Equal lows. Consolidation. We sweep. We change direction. My left shoulder was here. Let's see if that's more of a snipe. Let's drop to the 30-minute. And even if we come down to the 15, look at this, guys. Let's erase this zone. Look at the 15-minute. This is the 1 hour structure, right? But notice, where's my very last pullback? Where's my very last BOS before my change of direction? My very last BOS, my change of direction. This would be my shoulder here. Let's see if that's more of a snipe. It's exactly what we want right there. Let's see, does it come back? Oh, that wick was disgusting. But that's exactly what we want. Now, obviously, this is a higher time frame zone. If you had wanted to tighten up that shoulder, you can. Doesn't mean it has to give you it, right? But you definitely can. My wick to body zone would be here now. Let's remove this for clarity. Look, that was a snipe. That was a snipe. But now look at guys, I want to show you something, right? Guys, nothing changes. And this is what I mean by just understanding structure and sticking to 1 to 2 pairs. Now, this is why I trade indices because they all move very, very similar. And when they all move the same, damn near, I'm running with that bias, okay? Now, we definitely could have ran with this. That's already nice. But now let's come down here. We're already on a 5-minute time frame. Now, I'm going to show you on the 5-minute time frame, but I'm also going to show you on the lower time frame. Notice, look at that wick. Liquidity sweep. We change direction. Technically, on this time frame, this is my starting point. Let's go down to the 3. Let's go down to the 2. Look at the structure. Look at the structure, my goodness. Guys, would you consider this a breakout to the downside? Would you consider this a BOS to the downside? For sure. For sure it is. Consolidation. Change of direction. That's for sure a change of direction. Breakout rally. My starting point. Guys, too easy. This is too easy. Guys, This is damn near 1 minute structure. Too easy, guys. Nobody should be struggling a whole lot. Yes, everybody has their days, right? Their weeks, their slow months, but nobody should be completely confused out here, right? In my opinion, no one should be that confused out here. Taking these highs, oh man, a 1 to 8 on indices, bruh. I'm telling y'all can do this. How do you know when a wick is a liquidity sweep? Sometimes I get lost in wicks. Well, this is the thing, right? You only want to focus on the wicks that are followed by a change of direction, right? You need to understand liquidity to understand the sweep. Now that's the only thing in my opinion, right? Because once you have liquidity, that's one thing. Now, understanding that it needs to be swept is another. Because once liquidity is built and the market starts to make its way down, we want to wait for that market to sweep it. So the market already swept it, right? Now, what is the market going to do now? This is a gem. This is how you literally catch market open, okay? Telling y'all, this is my closest breaker structure to the downside. Market up, change of direction. The market can continue going down, so just market up. Now, let's say the market changes direction here, and it gives you the change of direction you're looking for. Guys, if you guys see the change of direction after the liquidity sweep, take the opportunity. Take the opportunity, okay? Now, you know what this is going to look like on a higher time frame, George? All this is going to look like is this. Gosh darn it. Right? You're going to see the wick. You're going to see that wick. And this is what that is. You're going to catch this move. The market's going to go up. At the time, the market looked like this. It had just swept liquidity. On a lower time frame, it's making all this stuff happen. And then that candle crawls back up. But now look, if you didn't catch this move, you have to wait for this change of direction. So if the market does not change direction, then that sweep of liquidity did not matter. We would have left shoulder, wick, sweep of liquidity, change of direction. If we have a sweep of liquidity followed by a change of direction, that's the move we want. Not every wick or sweep of liquidity is the right move. Okay, so just keep that in mind. I hope that makes sense, George. Hope that makes sense, bro. But guys, I hope you guys got some clicking moments because we've been moving quick on Fridays, right? We've been moving quick. A lot of people are asking questions, which I think is dope, right? You have to ask questions for yourself, guys. Like there's not like I'm trying to give you all my information, my whole thought process. And yes, liquidity followed by change of character. That's the one. I try to give you my thought process. Um, But at the end of the day, guys, a lot of the clicking moments are going to happen from your own questions. Like, I can't stress that enough. Like, you could have watched, I used to do the same thing. I would hop on an orange call Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 10 a.m. and 6 p.m., right? 6 times a week. And I would just watch. And I would understand when I'm watching it. But when I go to the charts, I'm like, bro, like, I can't do it. Like I get stuck. I click the line tool and I'm like, click, I'm lost. I don't know, right? But when I started asking questions like, hey, How do you use the line tool, right? They show you like, oh shit, that makes sense. Okay, now you start advancing. God, I'm telling you, bro, ask questions. Asking questions has changed my trading journey for sure. Yes, definitely it has. And I've seen that 100%. We got to start sending in your trades into the Nevada chat. Let's go. Let's go. Um, but yes, guys, ask questions. Super important for super important for your trading journey because we want to give you all the information first and foremost. Like I want to help you guys, but I don't know specifically what you need, right? So I can tell you everything. I can give you everything in my brain, but if it's not anything you need, like I just wasted time and I wasted your time, right? So guys, if let's say you took a loss one day, or maybe you're confused about something one day in the trading week, hop on these calls and ask me questions till we're blue in the face, bro. I will explain till I'm blue in the face and I pass out, bro. Like I will explain for you guys my whole thought process, everything. Why the market won, why the market lost. I will break everything down so you guys can get better. Okay? Ask your questions. But I hope you guys got clicking moments. I appreciate you guys for hopping on, always staying consistent every week. I don't express that enough, but I do appreciate you guys giving me your time. It's a Friday and Mondays, right? You guys can be doing anything. Y'all can be getting ratchet right now. Y'all could be out having a good time, but you guys are here, dedicated, devoted, and staying consistent with that. So I appreciate you giving me your time back. How do you control your emotions? iPhone. Who is iPhone? Before I answer your question, I have a question for you. What is your name? The boy Juan, let's go. Um, Motions, right? So, not sure how new you are, but if you are fairly new within your first year, possibly even 2 years, you are still very emotional, right? And it sucks, right? Now, how can you deal with it? Now, understand what I said, right? Within your first year, possibly even 2 years. So, if you're within your first month or first couple months, you're like, well, shit, I got a long way to go. But this is the thing. You have to focus on your strategy. You have to understand your strategy inside and out. You have to understand what you're going to do next when you got a stop loss. You have to understand what to do next when you hit TP. You have to understand how to adapt when market conditions change. You have to understand every setup can take a loss. Every setup does not have to win, right? You have no control. You have zero control. So just understanding that, it's like almost being a kid throwing a tantrum every time, right? Like you have no control. So you need to get that through your head now and focus on getting better because you have zero control in the markets and the outcomes. What you do have control is getting better. What information are you feeding yourself, right? You have to have money management, trade management. You have to understand your strategy because, guys, risk to award. You have to understand risk to award. Juan, I don't know how new you are, bro. I don't know. We have like 100 Juans in Powerhouse. So you can be Juan 49. I don't know. Like we have a ton of Juans. I gotta be real. But um risk to award. Understand you can take losses and still make money. Some people they don't get that through their brain till they're in year 4, 5, or 6. You can. I lost, I don't know. This week I probably lost like 5 times. I was being aggressive with Forex pairs and pairs that I never trade. Why? Because the setups look juicy and I was just being aggressive, right? And then I stopped trading them. I was down. I focused on indices like I normally do because they're my bread and butter, right? And then I recouped and then gained. Right? Understand you can take a loss. You are not a loser, bro. Because you lose sometimes doesn't make you a loser, doesn't make you unsuccessful, doesn't mean you suck, right? It does not mean you suck. So understand you can lose. Understand your strategy because you, the trader, you need to know how to adapt. You need to know what to do next, right? Is the trade like when within levels, I teach all of that. Yes, the trade could be stop loss, but that we need to see something next. Is it violated or is it still valid? Okay, it's violated. We're no longer looking for buys. We're now looking for sells. Oh, it respected? Okay, now we're going to continue looking for buys, right? So there's things you need to see. As much detail you can get for your strategy, the better. It will put your emotions in check. That's number one. Number two to emotions. Now, this is huge. And I don't think a lot of you guys are backtesting. Backtesting. Once you understand your strategy, right? Backtest. A lot of you guys aren't practicing. How do you guys want to get better on the charts, marking up, or with your emotions, or money management, or risk to reward if you're not backtesting? Backtesting, guys, I promise you, you can learn levels and you can learn smart money within 6 months being here if you're very dedicated. I promise you can. You ask questions, you're devoted, you watch the courses, you ask, I mean, I'm positive somebody can learn levels and smart money within their 6 months to a year within Powerhouse. You can know it inside and out, but how much practice are you getting? I think of this like barber school, right? When I went to barber school, bro, you get no walk-ins. You get zero walk-ins almost a week, which means you damn near get zero walk-ins a month. Bro, in barber school, I would cut up hella homeless people, like hella homeless. Like I was trying to get haircuts, bro. None of my homies were coming. I probably got two walk-ins or two haircuts a month. Two haircuts a month. Do you guys think I was ready to be a barber inside of a real barber shop with two walk-ins a month? I practiced twice a month on an actual head. Do you guys think I was ready to start on live haircuts in a barbershop? Hell no. Hell no. Bro, I was jacking those guys up, bro. I was jacking those guys up. I promise y'all, those haircuts were not good, right? But when you get into a barbershop, you practice. You go from getting two haircuts a month to 10 haircuts a day. All those reps, all those reps, all those reps, you get fairly good, right? Who said that was me? Yep. You get fairly good. Same thing with trading. Understand your setup, your strategy, and rep it and rep it and rep it and rep it. Guys, you do not want to practice on live setups. If you are not backtesting, one, you're not practicing. But if you're only taking live setups, you are practicing and taking these opportunities on live setups. Makes zero sense to me. Do you think like Steph Curry? I'm pretty sure Steph Curry can do this now. But you think Steph Curry just pulls up to the gym on game time, no warm up, just like hitting it like from deep, like hitting it? Like no, bro. He's in the gym probably 2, 3 hours before getting massaged, getting his mental reps in, getting his 500 shots before the game. Guys, reps. You want to get paid like a professional athlete in this market? You have to put in some reps like a professional athlete. Point, period, blank. The more reps you get in, the less emotional you will be. I cannot stress that enough. Okay, just gotta put that out there. But I hope you guys had a great call. I love doing these calls for you. I have a demo account right now. Hey, keep running that demo account. Find your strategy, whether it's levels or smart money, or maybe it's J7, right? I don't know. Find your strategy, jump around, bro. Maybe levels isn't for you. Smart money wasn't for me. Somebody put me on smart money. Bro, I was dumb money. I was like, bro, I'm dumb. I don't understand this shit. I went to levels, clicked right away. Come to find out it's the same thing. But I couldn't understand smart money. But it's the same shit, bro. Right? So you have to look around for you. You have to find an educator and a strategy that's going to fit your needs. So look around, work that demo, find something that's going to work for you. Vinny, how fast do you recommend to move your stop loss to break even as soon as you're in profit? I have rules. I have 1-to-1, I take partials. Whatever my stop loss is. Let's just use this. Whatever my stop loss is. At a 1-to-1, I take partials. My stop loss is there. At a 1-to-1, I take partials. At a 1-to-2, I break even. At a 1-to-3, I take profit. Now, why do I hit break even at 1-to-2? Now, because if let's just say I'm in profit and I'm up $100 and I'm risking $50, right? Or let's just say I'm up $100. Market hits my 1-to-1. I close out half the trade. I closed out 50 and I'm up 50. Now, if the market hits my stop loss, it's just going to take my $50 back. It's going to take the money that I took back. So it's pretty much like a break even. Does that make sense, George? I'm pretty much breaking. So, like, don't get me wrong. I want to take partials a bit higher than 1-to-1. So if I take partials here, if the market does hit my stop loss, at least I lose with like an extra $5, $10, $2, things like that. But at least if I take a loss and it's going to take the money that I just got from the market. Okay. And I do this. Why, Vinny, why do you do this? I do this because I'm always tired of entry. I move my stop loss to break even, break even, break even, and then it takes off. I don't like that. I don't like having to do that. I want to just get in, let it play, let it play. Once it hits my break even, then I go to break even. Okay. So that's what I do on every trade. If my stop loss is like this, hey, sucks to suck. Suck it up. Don't trade it if you don't like it. Okay? If you don't trade it, if you don't like the structure of the stop loss, don't trade it that day. It is what it is. That's the rule. These are my rules right here. It's different. It's a different size for different structure. If the stop loss is very, very tiny, then everything adjusts, right? That's my risk. Where's my 1-to-1? Everything adjusts. Makes sense, George? Makes sense, everybody? Right? I try to not make things complicated, bro. I want to keep things simple, right? I want to keep things simple. Hey, George, shout out to you, bro. You've been studying the levels boot camp and you've been devoted to it. You've been sending me hella videos, hella pictures, a lot of progress videos. You passed the funded. I'm not sure how long you've been with us, but I do know you've been watching that consistently for at least the past 2, 3 months now, and you've been seeing hella results, and you're rewatching it again already, bro. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Perfect example. You put your head down, you focus, you grind, you take it serious, good things happen. So shout out to you, bro. I just want to give you some props. But way to take advantage of these calls as well, right? Way to take advantage. I like that. I like working with people like that, right? Guys, when you want help, I know we all want help, right? You have to give effort. And I wanted help with Oren. I had to give effort. I hit up Oren hella times. That fool did not hit me back. I gotta be honest. He didn't hit me back. Right. Until I was in his go live session asking hella questions, he's like, bro, who is Alex Bishop? Who is this guy who just keeps spamming my chat with hella questions? That's when I got his information. That's when we got close. Same with different individuals, right? Neri with Mike, Jack with Valentino, myself with Oren. Different people will get plugged in with different educators. You have to find your educator, guys. You find your educator, ask your questions. They're gonna see you're hungry. They're gonna want to work with you. Okay. But with that being said, guys, that is it. I hope you guys have a great night, a great weekend. You know, I'm proud of you guys. I see a lot of growth and a lot of potential in everybody. I love seeing everybody win. Guys, we have 3.5 months left till the year ends. Let's level up. Let's stay hungry. I will see you guys on Monday. You guys have a great weekend.